All right, welcome everybody. We got a special occasion here. My name is Steven Ramirez with the Southwest Premier League. I got the president of the league, Matt Morris, vice president Nick Peters, and today we are doing the cup draw for the Raul Briones Cup. I got a little tongue-tied there, but what we're going to do is give a little history on the cup, talk about the format, and then we're going to kick off with the draw. So without further ado, Matt, why don't you go ahead and give us a little history and talk to us about the Raul Briones Cup?
All right, good. Thanks, Steven, and good to be on here with you guys. Just looking forward to the Cup this year because it has a lot of new meaning and significance. But I just want to tie the historical perspective of what the Cup has been in the past for our league. As many of you all know, we've rebranded as Southwest Premier League. We're expanding into Arizona as well as Nevada and Northern California. So we're slowly building those divisions up there. Before I get into that, though, I just want to talk about the Raul Briones Cup and its history. When I first came to the league back in the early 90s, there were two divisions, and every year we would have an intercup competition where the first division and the second division would get to play against each other in a format. So that gave an opportunity for second division teams to play against the top teams throughout the season. So because we have a European style calendar, we start our season in September. We go all the way through till May. It gives us a lot of space in our schedule to allow for teams to do multiple things. So we really like it when our teams play in outside competitions like the US Open Cup or the State Cup. And we are hopeful, and a lot of them go to some of the big tournaments in Vegas as well. So we like to create space for that. But another thing we create space for in our annual season is a cup competition. The cup was named after one of the founders of our league, Raul Briones. He is we're going to do an interview with his son Art Briones in the future here, but Raul was a great man. I met him and got to know him quite a bit when I was first in the league. He did a ton for the league back in the day when we used to have a meeting every single month where every team had to attend, where we did scheduling on paper and all the scoring and all that stuff. It was a good event. You really got to know each other. Now we can still meet on a monthly, daily basis through Zoom or whatever program we're on, StreamYard in this case. But the competition itself has given a chance, like I said, for many teams to prove themselves. When the old Pacific Soccer League folded, this was kind of in the late 90s, and we absorbed a lot of those higher level teams that played in Southern California. We ended up with 3 divisions, and then the cup took on more significance. So now we have, top first division teams, second division and third division teams playing against each other in a Champions League type format. So, and it was in the early 2000s that we named the cup after our founder, Raul Briones. It just for years was called the League Cup. And we played it, but after Art's dad, Raul, passed away, we wanted to commemorate all his work and stuff he did with the league by naming the cup after him. And there are a couple other cups that we've named after significant people in our league, but we'll get to those at another time. But Raul was the first time we named any kind of competition or tournament after someone who had some significance in our league. So he's one of the founding members, one of the founding first presidents of our league, and he really did a lot for us. So just want to turn it over to Nick Peters to talk a little bit about the cup this year and to give the format and dates of our cup.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to just go through the format first. I will mention a few things after that regarding there will be a couple teams that you'll notice are missing from the cup draw, and I'll explain why that is the case. First off, as far as the format of the cup goes, the first group stage, it's going to be basically 5 groups split into flights of 3. Each group will have 6 teams, 2 flights. You'll play the opposite side of the flight in your group, and then there'll be a table with points. At that point, of the 30 teams that are in the flight portion of the group stage, then we'll split off. The top 14 points teams will qualify for the Raul Briones Cup knockout, and then the 2 teams, which I will mention later, will also qualify for that. So it'll be a 16-team knockout, starting with a round of 16. Round of 16 itself will be a single elimination knockout. And then we'll go into the quarterfinals and semifinals, where it'll be a two-legged competition. It'll be a cumulative score, but not a home and or you won't have a away goal rule. It'll just be a cumulative score for those rounds. So each team will get to host one leg of that match, and then the final match will be a single knockout game, which will also incur FIFA extra time and penalty kicks if needed. As far as the earlier rounds of the knockout stage go, if there were to be a tie, those games would go straight to penalty kicks. There would be no extra time on those rounds. The remaining 16 teams from the group stage will be participating in our Friendship Cup. Same layout as the Raul Briones Cup knockouts. There'll still be 16 teams and start with the round of 16 and so on. Exact same rules all the way to the final. Our goal at this point is to host the final in mid-May. We will post all the dates for the rounds, but what you should expect once the group stage takes place, the group stage is going to be November 20th and 21st. That'll be the first game. Second game will be December 4th and 5th. And the third game will be December 11th and 12th. As far as the knockout stages go, what we do is the last weekend of each month in January and beyond will be a cup game. So everybody at first will have a game the end of January. Obviously, once teams start being knocked out of the knockout stage, we'll look at the possibility of moving league games up to fill those dates. But the plan will be every weekend going from January, February, March, and so on will be a knockout stage game of the cup. Just to touch really quickly, the reason that two teams will not be participating in the first round of the cup, those teams right now, it looks like will be Capo FC and Inland Empire FC. We've looked at the standings. There's no point at this point where any other team can pass them up in the standings the way that we're deciding who qualifies. But the two teams will be qualifying for the fall NISA Regional Independent Cup final spots. What's going to happen is we're going to have a regional semifinal, basically, that'll be local to SoCal. That's going to be taking place the weekend of December 4th and 5th. And that playoff match will depend. It'll determine who goes into the regional final, which will be taking place in Las Vegas the weekend of the 11th and 12th of December. And they'll be playing against another regional final qualifier. We'll be displaying updated information on that once it comes around and gets closer to that time. That'll be coming from Matt. And then we do have one team that's actually not participating in the cup this year. That's Patiadora's soccer club. They do their players playing in the high school season. They're unable to participate, but we are going to invite a guest club to participate in the cup this year. All right. At this point, I'll pass things back to Stephen. Go ahead.
Perfect. So, what we're going to do is I'll give you guys a little layout here that we're going to have. We have here on the side, we're going to show how the group up, and then we're going to go ahead and draw those groups. We'll go ahead and start out with Nick, who's going to be drawing the North and South, our first division clubs. Matt will be drawing the second division, and I will be drawing the third division. Give this a moment here.
Yeah, I'm going to let it load up.
Well, it's loading. We did talk a little bit about what Inland Empire and Capo FC are going to, but did we mention the significance of the new changes to the cup and some of the meaning it has this year? I don't think we touched on the.
No, you're right, Matt. Go ahead and share about that.
Yeah, share about that. So I mentioned in my intro that there's some new significance to what the cup is going to be this year. The fact that we are now official affiliates of NISA, Independent Soccer Association, or National Independent Soccer Association, NISA. Part of that affiliation agreement is that NISA gives our league, Southwest Premier League, basically the ability to decide who qualifies for the NISA Independent Cup and how they qualify for the NISA Independent Cup. NISA will qualify their NISA Pro and NISA Nation teams, but all remaining spots for all of the areas within the Southwest region of NISA, we hand out those qualification spots. There is a NISA Independent Cup Committee. I've been in communication with them. They will let us know probably early next year of how many spots we are allocated. We know we have at least 2 spots, but it looks like we probably have upwards of possibly 4 spots. So Inland Empire FC and Capo FC are playing in a 1-game playoff as the qualification for our fall SoCal Premier League. And then they are going to, the winner of that will go up to Las Vegas December 4th and 5th to play against the winner of our new Nevada Premier League champion. And the winner of that game will have the first spot of the 2022 NISA Independent Cup. And as we go into 2022, the full champion of our Raul Briones Cup will actually also get a spot to play in the regional playoffs to get into the NISA Independent Cup. So our first division champion, as well as our league Raul Briones Cup champion, will have ability to play in the NISA Independent Cup in the summer of 2022. So we're real excited about using this Raul Briones Cup to qualify a team for the NISA Independent Cup. So just want to give you a little bit of that exciting new news that we have this year. And Nick, why don't you take it away and we'll start drawing some teams.
All right. Thank you, Matt. All right. To start, I guess we'll start with Group 1A. I'm going to be going through the South teams. We're going to fill the A slot on each group. So this is going to be 1A. And 1A will be Olympiacos, California. All right, we will go to Group 2A. Group 2A will be Chula Vista FC2. Group 3A will be Sporting Club California.
Some of you might be wondering, while Nick picks the next one, of why it's listed as Chula Vista FC2. That is because Chula Vista FC1 will be playing in the NISA Nation division. So their reserve team is the team that is in our Raul Briones Cup.
All right, Group 4A will be Forza Soccer Academy. And last but not least, Group 5A will be AMSG Elite. All right, now we'll go back to Group 1, and we'll do Group 1B.
Your Easter eggs make a lot of noise, Nick. Mine's going to be much quieter.
Sorry about that. Group 1B, Real Sociedad Royals. Oh, sorry. Group 2B, that will be our guest team slot to be announced.
Yep. And we are in touch with a couple of teams from that played in our summer U23 league, and so we haven't determined who that team's going to be yet, but we should know by the end of October.
Group 3B, FC United Kingdom. Group 4B, Sol de Sol FC2. And last but not least, (5B) Monster Crew FC. All right, that's all our first division teams.
All right, very cool. The cool thing about this draw is that these teams that are going to play each other in the cup, on the A side, it's teams from, I believe it's the north, and on the B side, it's the teams from, oh no, that's the opposite. The A side's the teams from the south, and B side teams from the north. So they haven't played each other in league play yet. So they're going to get a little preview in the group stage of each other before they play each other competitively. All right, so I got more a professional route. I have my special Champions League ball that I got in Estonia a couple years ago. So I got all my teams in here. So let's go. All the second division teams. All right, first team is Culver City FC 03.
All right, for 2A.
All right, second team is Buena Park FC. Uh-oh. A couple of my things fell out. I got to throw them back in the bowl. Shake. I guess the eggs is a better deal. All right. Next team. Inland Empire FC U23. So Inland Empire does have two teams in our league. Their first team has got the bye, and this is their reserve team that plays in our second division. All right. Next one. Artesia DES. Next one. Real La Habra. All right. Next one. City Legends FC. Next one, FCBN. Next one, Hanover FC. Two left. Okay, OCSC Monsters 2. Orange County Soccer Crew Monsters 2. Last one. FC Golden State U19s.
We were pretty close to having that Monsters Derby right there.
I know, they almost got, that would have been fun. I'm sure they would love that.
Well, we already have some great looking groups. Chula Vista, Buena Park. I mean, we see some really good matches across A and B as well.
Yeah.
All right, so now we'll go to Division 3. A little shake here. All right, for the first team, which is going to be Group 1A. All right, Oro FC.
Oro FC.
All right, 2A. Northeast LAFC.
Keep in mind, everybody, that you will be playing the teams on the opposite flight. So you're not going to be playing the teams on the B side. If you're on the A side, you're going to play the teams on the B. If you're on the B side, you're going to be playing the teams on the A side.
All right, so here we go. 2A, Pumas La Habra. All right, 2B, Olympiacos California 2. All righty, Group 3A, Pegasus SC.
Group 3. Pegasus S. Pegasus. I just blanked on how to spell Pegasus. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm like, it didn't look right.
Alrighty, 3B. We have FC Cyprus. All right.
Here's our
4A.
Here's another chance for a derby.
PSC U23.
All right, no derby here.
4A. OCSC Monsters. All right, a little monster derby going on.
Well, they won't be playing each other.
They won't play each other. Oh, there we go.
So they'll be playing a cross conference for points. So I'm sure that is good because that'll make it a little more meaningful.
Yeah.
If one goes to the top flight or not.
5A, West Grove FC. And last but not least, Via OCFC.
What'd you say? Oh, Via. OC. I'm sure they were watching this and they're probably nervous that their name wasn't going to get called. Steve, enter out of your B. Or just, there we go. The Golden State one. All right. Looking good. Okay, guys. What's looking like the group of death here? I'm trying to see that it looks pretty good.
Well, I like those, depending on who we see in that announced slot with some of the teams that we've been talking to, that group 2 definitely looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
As well as group 4, Forza, I'm looking to see how they're doing. Soul to Soul's been doing good from Division 1, but seeing like the monsters kind of chasing each other, I think that'll be, just like you said, a really competitive and good atmosphere for that one.
Yeah, I feel like we got a good draw where it's pretty even across the board. There's no real lopsided groups. That's nice.
And typically what you got to look at, or usually typically what I look at, a little bit different this year, is that, every year pre-COVID, it was always the third division teams you had to look out for, because a lot of times a new team would come into the league that we didn't know a whole lot about.
Yeah.
And, they may do real well because they're just a top team. And a lot of times you see a third division team give upsets against those first division teams. But now we have new teams at every level this year. So, just looking at our normal standings, it's all up in the air of what can happen. So I've been going to a lot of games and speaking to a lot of teams, and, a lot of them are really excited about, getting a challenge against those first division teams. And now that they know there's an option for them to get into a regional playoff and even a NISA Independent Cup site, I'm sure a lot of these teams are going to be doing a lot of recruiting for outside players to get that chance to go up there. So one of the exciting things, at least about the Independent Cup last year, is that some of the games were shown on FCBN on BN Sports TV. So, some of these teams are going to get a chance to actually to see their team name on BN Sports, and that's kind of an unheard of opportunity for an amateur league team in a regional local division to have that opportunity. So we're real excited that NISA's provided us with that this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of open soccer. I'm looking forward to seeing who's, the first Division 3 team that beats a Division 1 team, because, that's what cup competitions are for. And that's what we hope for in the US Open Cup. And that's, what we have brewed in with our Raul Briones Cup here, which is this open competition, settling it on field.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And some of you also might be wondering why Outbreak. Those of you who are watching from outside the Southwest Premier League, Outbreak is a team also in our league that is in the U.S. Open Cup this year. And the reason why you don't see Outbreak here is because they are actually in our league as an over 30 team. So they will play in the over 30 Cup. And I would say that their game in the U.S. Open Cup against the Monsters, the Monster Crew FC, was kind of an upset, to have an over 30 team. I was actually at that game, and Monster Outbreak had a good showing that game, and I think it was just their wisdom of experience that got the win for them in that game. So their next opponent in the U.S. Open Cup is going to be Chula Vista FC. So that's going to be really interesting to see that game. So
it's actually isn't it Capo, Matt?
Oh, yes, it's Capo FC. Yeah, because Chula Vista, they're playing a different team. But yeah, you're right. It's Capo FC that's going to be playing that game. And so one of the things we actually are going to have to look at is this game down here, the November 21st game, Capo versus Inland Empire. We're actually going to have to reschedule that game because Capo has their their U.S. Open Cup game that weekend.
Yeah, so, we'll probably December 4th, 5th weekend, I think, is the weekend that'll actually take place.
Yep. We'll have to move that game to that date, and I'll actually make that change right now. So they're going to have to qualify, or maybe they'll want to play a midweek game before Thanksgiving so that they can determine who's traveling to Vegas. Both teams actually have option to travel to Vegas because we're going to be inviting some new teams that are joining us in the Pacific Premier Division and providing some more games for a couple teams in the Nevada Premier. So there's going to be a lot of good options there.
Perfect. Well, it sounds good. This is the beauty of open soccer. So Matt, Nick, thanks for jumping in, doing the draw. This was great. Of course, as we get more, you can always find us here. And thanks for everyone for giving us a follow on our socials. And thanks, guys, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah, good luck in the cup.
Thanks, man. Thanks for putting this together, Steven, and we'll see you all out on the field.
Good luck, guys.
I guess.